Good morning, welcome back to the channel. Kev from KRT Electrical Services. Today we are doing some remedial works, which is basically 2 board changes in a flat here. This is a block of 8 flats, and I've tested and inspected all of them, and they need board change, or the client has decided on board changes, and a couple of other things like bathroom lights and stuff just need changing. So back today to change these 2 boards. So we've got a 10-way board there, half RCD protected. They're actually in very good condition, but only half the installation's got RCD protection. It's plastic, which is, only a C3, but the landlord of these flats has decided that he wants them all upgraded, and also this little Economy 7 board, which is also being upgraded. So that's what we're here to do today. So upgrading them, and then also I am upgrading that bathroom light because it's just a batten holder in a bathroom, albeit the ceilings are quite high, but it could do with replacing IP, having an IP rated light in there. So yeah, that's what we're doing today. It should be quite a nice little job really. When I tested these boards, the actual wiring in them is quite neat and tidy, so whoever's done the installation throughout this block has done a pretty good job. So there should be plenty of slack and stuff, but we'll get it off and I'll show you what's behind it, and we'll go from there. Thankfully I have done an EICR before. As I say, I've done an EICR throughout this block in the 8 flats, and so I know the condition of the wiring, etc., unlike my last video, which was a board change without an EICR, which turned into an EICR, which now needs loads of rewiring. So so this will be a board change video today, and the boards that I've got to change to are, so I couldn't get hold of my usual CP fuse box boards. So what we've got today is we've got a Wilex. Tell I've never used Wilex before. Right. Wilex board, 10-way, no SPD. Client wanted these upgraded but didn't want to pay the extra for SPD, so however we have paid extra and got type A RCDs. So we're gonna have gaps there, but we'll fill them in. But yeah, we've got that, and then we've got another little 5-way for the Economy 7 board. We'll get it out. We've got a little 5-way with 100 amp AC RCCB as a main switch. So yeah, Economy 7 main board, that's what we're fitting. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll set my ladder up, set the uni light up, because I need to go downstairs as well, because the incomer is downstairs and we need to isolate that, self-isolation or safe isolation, and lock off, because other people potentially will have access to that, so I need to lock that off. So what I'll do is I'll get the board cover off, get a couple of readings, ZE, PFC, etc., and then we'll go downstairs, safe isolation, lock off, show you that, and then we'll crack on with the board change. So I've isolated the board, everything's turned off, as I say. Going to do my earth fault loop. So I've disconnected the main earth, and we're going to do 2, probably can't see it, but 2 tests. .05, perfect. So I'll record that as my ZE, and then we'll reconnect that earth to the earthing terminal to reconnect any parallel paths and get a PFC. Right, reconnected. .68 PFC, 4.68 and 0.054 ZE. So right, what we'll do is this is all turned off. I'll isolate this board over here as well, and then I'll go downstairs, lock off, show you self-isolation. Safe isolation, self-isolation, safe isolation, safe isolation. Right, so I've got my TIS 851 and my Martindale proving unit. So let's try and do this one-handed. Plug him in there. Oh, got power. And then him in there. Right, so that's working perfectly. Stand by. Right. Put him on earth. Live. Right, so we've got power there, that side of the switch, and then that side of the switch we haven't. Neutral, lovely, and neutral earth. Yeah, we've got power at the top of the switch, but not the bottom side. So yeah, we've proved that the bottom side is dead, and we'll just go back on my tester on the proving unit. There we go. A bit fuzzy for you, but so we've proved the main switch is live at the top but dead at the bottom. So what I'll do, go and isolate downstairs, come back, test both sides again, and then that's our safe isolation, and I'll lock off when I'm downstairs. So here we are in the main plant room. So got the main incomer, distribution board there, got all the meter heads and the meters, and we're working in flat to do 2 today, which is that one there. So what we'll do, that's the main isolator, so I'll open that up and I'll come back to you with safe isolation. As you can see here, we've got 2 main switches. We've got one for the storage heater, the smaller board, and one for the main board. So but we'll turn both of these off straight away. So that is flat 2, so we'll knock that off, and let me get my ideal kit, and we'll lock off. Right, so you can see, couldn't show you because I need to do it two-handed. That's locked off, so that main switch can't go up, can't be operated. That's that one there, can't be operated, so we're all locked off. So we'll go back, prove dead, and then we can crack on with the ball change. As you can see, proving unit, Tesla's live. Go CPC to main switch, nothing, neutral, nothing, back to there, dead. And we'll do the same for that board, but I'm not touching that yet, so I'll do that when I come to work on it. But yeah, I'm not touching that yet. I'm going to get on with the main board so I can get the power back on for that, and then do that once the power's back on. So yeah, I'll start stripping this out and run you through what I do when I start stripping the boards out, and then we'll go from there. What I do is I label these boards, or these cables, 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So then I write them down in my notebook, what circuit's what, so when they're all stripped out I know what's what then. So yeah, that's how I do it. But yeah, I'll note them down, what circuits are what from the old board, and I've got my test results from the EICR I did, and then we'll write these down so I know what's what, and it makes it easier to identify what circuit's what when it goes back into the new board. Right, so the board's off, as you can see. I've got the main incoming, which is 16mm I think. It's not SWA. I'm just hoping that we've got a little bit of play on that as to where our main switch is, because the main switch on the old board was this side And the main switch on the wireless board is this side, so I'm hoping, but I think that's got a bit of movement on it. And then what I do is just straighten the cables out, because obviously they were bent into the terminals and all that sort of stuff. Just straighten them out. I'm not going to start rubbing them with some magic rag just to straighten them out like some other people do, because that's just not required. But these ones, you know, you can just straighten them out and you can make a nice bend when you dress them in. So what I'm going to do though is strip them back pretty much to the wall, so that we've got as much as the singles inside the enclosure as possible. And obviously as soon as they go through the wall or out the enclosure, they need the sheathing to be double insulated. So we'll strip these ones back to say here just before they come out of the enclosure, so that we haven't got any of the sheathing coming in, and then start to bring them in. So yeah, we've got lights, immersion, ring, shower, or sorry, cooker, and then shower there, which is a little bit short, so we have to make sure that this one sort of goes in the middle of the board really. But yeah, that's where we are at the moment. So what I'm going to do is just have a look at the wireless board down there, see where the knockouts are on the back, and then take the appropriate ones out, because we're going to be rear entry, and then yeah, knock them out, grommet strip, etc, etc. But I'll show you all that and what I do, and then we'll come back. I said I've never fitted wireless boards, to be honest, but that's a nice touch. Give you a couple of little metal blanking plates, the little plastic things to go over the buzz bar if you're not using them on their ways, and the labelling looks pretty good as well. So as I say, this is a dual RCD board with no SPD, but we've got type A RCDs, because I know people are jumping up and down about those at the moment, type A RCDs. And I think actually I was talking to the bloke in City Electricals this morning, and they're saying that CP fuse box are now phasing out AC RCDs, so everything's going to be type A. So yeah, that's what we've got here. I don't think we've got any induction hobs and stuff like that, but I think some modern appliances wouldn't potentially trip an AC RCD, so you need a type A pretty much these days. So yeah, hence why I've started to install those. Right, so as you can see, I've knocked 2 knockouts out, put some grommet strip around, and I've showed you before in other videos what I do to secure this. I use the mitre glue with an activator. So sorry it's black, I ran out of white, but that'll do the job anyway. So yeah, that'll do the job. It doesn't matter what colour it is, nobody sees it once the board's closed up anyway. So but yeah, what I'll do now, split these cables how I want them coming through the back, because obviously I've got 2 holes. I will put some fire seal in these once I've finished, but yeah, I'll offer this up, put the circuits in the arrangement that I think I want them in, offer them up, bring them through, and then probably mark the wall and then mount the board. Alright, so as I was saying, I didn't show you me mounting it on the wall because yeah, it's just you've got to get these cables through and then mark the holes and take it away again and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, so I've got these over here and they're going to go on this side of the board, these circuits. So I think we've got lights, smokes, we've got immersion and a socket ring as well, I believe, or maybe a shower. And then over here we've got another lighting circuit, we've got a cooker, we've got a ring as well. So I've tried to divide them between the 2 RCDs. I mean, the RCD's 100 amp anyway, so not going to overload them with the circuits we've got here, you know, if you take into account diversity and stuff like that. And then we've got the main incoming towers as well. So what we'll do is we'll get these away first, and then we'll get the dim rail back in, or not the dim rail because dim rail's already in this one, but we'll get the main switch and the RCDs back in and start dressing some cables ready for the MCBs. Right, so we've got the board on the wall, as you know, and I've just got the towers in, so I'll show you what I've done. Right, towers are an absolute nightmare. these are stiff as you like, so yeah, I couldn't really bend them in any more of a sort of a nicer radius than that. So what I'm doing now is starting to dress the cables in for this side, this RCD. So the earth's obviously tucked back and then come back and make a nice little loop over there, double over, and then the neutrals, because I don't want to cut all the slack off, what I'm doing is looping them around back, and then they'll make a nice little finish up there. So it doesn't look great at the moment, but obviously we're still yet to trim all these back, trim this back and dress them in, so it's work in progress at the moment. I haven't got my GoPro with me, so I can't put you on a time lapse today. So what I'll do is I'll just crack on with it, come back and show you what I've done when it's pretty much finished, and then we'll power up and do a couple of live tests on the RCD, which I'll show you and stuff like that. So let me just crack on with it and I'll come back. Right, so all the cables are dressed in, not as neat as I'd like, but it's a split load board and cables coming out of different positions, and it's a bit more difficult when you've got them coming out of different places and stuff like that. So yeah, they're you know, the earths and the neutrals don't look the best, but it is what it is. But now I'm just looking at the torque settings. So for earth and neutral terminals 1.7, and for MCBs, main switches and RCDs 2.3 Newton meter. So this is set to 2.3. You can't see anything because it's set between 2.4 and 2.2, which is 2.3. So then we go along and we torque every terminal up. Cool. I'm trying to do this cack-handed. There we go. But you get the idea. So go along, torque every terminal up on the MCB, RCB, main switch and earth neutral terminals, and just to make sure there's no loose connect, because the last thing we want is any arcing and stuff which could potentially cause fire, and that's what we try and prevent as electricians, electric shocks and fire. So yeah, I'm going to go along, do them without you watching because it's difficult with one hand, and yeah. Right, so I've been downstairs, I've taken the lock off kit off of the main circuit breaker for the main house, or the main board, and the power is back on. So I'll show you what I've done. So that's the main board, it's all powered up. I haven't done live testing yet. I haven't got ZS's and I haven't tested the RCDs, but I will do that once I finish this, because I'm just about to take this off the wall. This is still isolated downstairs, so I'm going to take this off the wall, put that new little Wilex, which has got 100 amp RCCB main switch, and then next to that somewhere there's a box with there's four 16 amp MCBs, B types. So, and they are going to go in here. So this board will then have RCD protection, these storage heaters, this will then have RCD protection, this will come off, the other one will go on, be nicely matching. Yeah, so get cracking on with that, because it's, I don't know what time it is, it's about 12 o'clock, half 12 maybe. So I want to get this done, then I'm going to stick a bathroom light in the bathroom down there, then we are done for the day. So hoping for an early-ish one today, but we'll see how we get on. So I've just taken this little board off the wall, which is fine, so we're gonna change that, but then that's what I'm left with. So you got your main incomer here, and obviously your final circuits here, but then look at that gap, plasterboard wall, full of insulation, no fire barrier. So that is why I personally fill the back of boards with fire sealant, so that if there is arcing which turns into a fire, hopefully you can try and prevent it going through here into the insulation, spreading up throughout the building. So these will get filled up with fire, not fire foam, but just sealant, and hopefully to prevent that, because for me that's bad practice. Well, I've just done exactly the same as this, knocked that rear knockout out, glued it in, and that is going to go up there, same height as that. So I'll get it mounted on the wall and then come back to you once it's up there and show you what I've done. Right, so the board's all mounted. We've got the RCD main switch and the 3 16-amp breakers in. Tighten down on the bus bar. Got to torque them up, obviously. Got the towels in, which we've got to torque up, and we're just going to bring the final circuits in now. That obviously goes over to the neutral bar. Yeah, so this one's a little bit different. It's got no, it's got a pull-out bus bar guard, whereas that one is perfect. It's got a little plastic, so you've got no access to the bus bar at all on that board. So I quite like this Wilex board actually. It's quite good, nice bit of space. Yeah, so we'll stick the little hats over those so you can't get to the live terminals when it goes live. Obviously this is economy 7, so it's only going to come live at, I think it's between 10 and 6 or 10 and 7 or something. So but we'll stick them hats on anyway, and we'll dress these cables in, and I'll report back when it's done. So this little board is now all done. Just got to go downstairs, power up. It's all torqued up, everything's away as it should be. Got to put some fire sealant in the back here and in the main board. But yeah, economy 7 board, main board, not too bad. I don't think they're too bad. That could have been a little bit tidier, but it is what it is. So you can easily identify what circuits go where, stuff like that. And I find split load boards are harder to make tidier than RCBO boards. So, but no, they're all right. So quite pleased. So gonna go and take the lock off kit off of this. I can't do any testing on this because this is not live. So I have done some testing. I have been here at night before and done some testing on it. So yeah, let me know in the comments what you do with this. Because you can't liven this board up because it's economy 7 supply. So yeah, let me know what you do. Right, so just doing some RCD testing. Let me press my tester. Functional test. There we go. Right, so for that circuit, 1 times 30.6. oh sorry, we'll go through the results again. Half times didn't trip, 1 times 20.3, 30.6 is the highest, 5 times 15.8, 10.3, so 30.6 and 15.8 we record them. I've gone round and got my ZS's from the socket circuits, but lights and immersion and cooker and shower, I'm just going to calculate those because I've got R1, R2 and my ZE. Going to calculate those ones rather than go around and mess around with live parts and stuff. So yeah, I'm going to calculate R1, R2 plus ZE equals ZS. So yeah, we'll do that. Right, so we have pretty much finished everything. Put a new bathroom light up, just normal bulkhead, but yeah, put that up because that needed doing. And then I've just used the intrabrescent sealant on the boards. So I've got some fire seal in there, and then fire seal in there, quite a bit in there really, to help seal them up. So yeah, that's the finished result. Neat-ish, not the best, but it is what it is. This is all going to be powered back up very shortly. Yeah, that's about it really. So I'll put the covers on and show you the finished article. Right, so that's about it. Covers are all on, all labelled up, all tested. Power's all back on, so all good. This is the finished result. Alright, so we've got our Economy 7 board, which is all on, labelled up. Got our main board, which is all on, labelled up again there. So yeah, everything's on, all good. That's about it really. So that's one of 8 flats I've got to do in this block, and they'll all be identical because they're all having the boards changed. Them old boards, there wasn't a great deal wrong with them, but you had cookers, showers and lighting circuits which had no RCD protection, and there was no spare capacity to give those circuits RCD protection. So they were plastic, they're probably 15-20 years old, so the landlord went for renewing them. So they've got 2 wireless boards. The only thing it hasn't got is PD, because they didn't want to pay the extra for that, but there's a capacity there. So I did get an SPD board, but I just didn't have the SPD in it. So if they do want to put that in at a later date, they can, because it's got the spare capacity there for it. So all they'd have to do is retrofit it. Type A RCDs, as I said previously, as is that one, that's Type A as well. So yeah, so overall good installation. Could have been a little bit tidier inside, but it's perfectly functional. You could tell what's what and where goes what goes where. So yeah, good job overall. This EICR is now satisfactory, so from here do electrical installation certificate, which supersedes the previous EICR, and then yeah, this is all ready to be let back out. So yeah, there we go. So if you do like the content that I put out, and me and how I show bits and pieces, then give us a thumb up and a like, and subscribe to the channel and spread the word. It helps grow the channel, and yeah, hopefully we'll get more and more out there. So hope everyone's well. It's coming up for Easter. It's Wednesday. This video will probably be out in a day or so. So if I don't see everyone, or you don't see me before then, have a good Easter, and we'll see you on the other side. Take care.